Hello friends, my name is Shayla, and today I am here with a book haul for you. It's my day off, that's why my hair's not really done, my makeup's not done, and I'm unapologetic about it. So, it's been a little while since I've done a haul. It's been about a month, and this will probably be the last haul I do till Christmas, because at my salon that I own, we're gearing up for renovations, and so my money's a little tighter, so I won't be buying as many books until the holiday season. So, until then, I've got a lot to get me through. So let's just dig right in, get into these books. I have a couple I've pre-ordered on some books, so those I'll still receive. But yeah, for the most part, this is going to be what I'm reading for the next little while. There's a book outlet order that was significant, plus a bunch of other books. So let's just dig in. This is going to take forever if we don't. So the first book is an audiobook, and that is The Magnolia Story by Chip and Joanna Gaines. I love Chip and Joanna Gaines. I am a fixer-upper junkie. I love the show. I love them. And I really want to learn more all about their story. They had their audiobook 30% off at Target, so I decided to pick it up because I think because it's narrated by Chip and Joanna, so I think it would be way more fun to have them read it to me than for me to read it myself. So that was just a personal choice that I made, and yeah, I will be listening to it probably in November as part of Nonfiction November. Next up is The Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff. And this is one that I ended up picking up in my neighborhood book swap box. Somebody had dropped that off in there, and it's just a short little book all about, Winnie the Pooh. And I'm kind of a Disney junkie. That's not something I talk about a ton on this channel, but it is something that I am. And so I'm really excited to read this and learn more about The Tao of Pooh. Next up is a sequel, and that is Daughter of Dusk by Livia Blackburn. This is the second book in the Midnight Thief series. It took me a minute to get around to reading Midnight Thief, but once I did, I really enjoyed it, and I was really excited about where it was going, and so I'm really excited that I finally picked up book 2 and can continue on that journey. Next up is a honker, and that is The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the trade paperback, and it is huge. And I listened to the audiobook of The Name of the Wind I did it over like a 6-week period, and I ended up really enjoying it because it's meant to be a story that was told to you. I actually enjoyed it in an audiobook format, but for me it just wasn't going quite quick enough, so I did pick this one up in a trade paperback physical copy. Again, if it takes me a minute to get back into it, I'll probably pick it up on an audiobook as well, because I do enjoy the narrator. The narrator is fantastic. So if you've tried to get into The Name of the Wind and haven't been able to, try the audiobook. I really enjoyed that. But I picked up its sequel because I am really excited to see where this next portion of the story goes with our unreliable narrator and all. Next up is book 2 in the Temeraire series, and that is Throne of Jade by Naomi Novik. And I haven't read the first book yet, but April Sarah, my buddy, she's like running through the series. I think I'm just going to slowly start collecting these mass market paperbacks that I can easily get my hands on and read them, because her and I have very similar tastes in books, other than she enjoys a little more horror than I do. That's about the only place we differ. Everything else we tend to be on the same page with. So I decided to pick up book 2 as well. I'm hoping to get to these first 2 at least before the end of the year, so we'll see what happens. Next up is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is a historical fiction that takes place in Paris during World War II. This focuses on 2 women on the home front. One, the Nightingale, who works for the resistance, and the other being a woman who is married and left at home with her young daughter and has a member of the Nazi army basically come and live in her house without her choice. It's a very interesting story. It's heart-wrenching at times and hard to read at times. Overall, I gave it 4.5 stars. I really thoroughly enjoyed this historical fiction. I'll talk about it a little bit more in my wrap-up, but that's just a brief little my thoughts on it. These next 2 books are the books that I received in my Go Indie Now box. I am so excited to announce that Go Indie Now has decided to keep me on as one of their reps, so you can continue to see those unboxings from me. So the books I received in the month of October were The Deathbringer by E.M. Markov. This is definitely more of your horror kind of flick, which I probably won't get to this season. I'll probably save it for next season just because I only got it a couple days ago, and I still have tons of books on my TBR I'm trying to get to. The next one is The Making of Gabrielle Davenport by Beverly Lee. This is one that I will probably be getting to in November, as long as I've got enough time. Life is kind of crazy when you're running a salon and gearing up for renovations. But I am really hoping to get to this, and I am super excited. Even the author found out that I ended up receiving the Go Indie Now box, and she reached out to me and said, I hope you like it. So I'm really excited to read this one. These next three all kind of go together. They're all by the same author. These are C.S. Lewis novels, and they're beautiful, and they had to be mine. So the first is The Screwtape Letters. The second is A Grief Observed. And last but not least is Mere Christianity. C.S. Lewis is highly quoted in General Conference. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so I am very Christian. And so I really, just in Christianity in general, C.S. Lewis is very respected for his views, and I really wanted to get more familiar with his work. I've never, outside of the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe series, I haven't really read anything by him. So I'm starting to expand into his more adult, nonfiction style works, and I really hope to enjoy them. The next book is The Orphan Keeper by Cameron Wright. This is one that was about a young man who was kidnapped as a young child from his family in India and then sold as an orphan to an American family. So this is based on a true story. I really want to read this. This is definitely a diverse book that deals with a lot of hard topics, and so I think it's a very important book, and I'm already very passionate about it, so you'll hear me talk about it a lot on my channel, I'm sure. Alright, let's dig in to this book outlet order, and then we will be done, because we are already 8 minutes in this video. So the first one is The Things We Know by Heart by Jessie Kirby. This one is a contemporary, and that's about all I know about it. The cover was pretty. I remember reading the synopsis and thinking it would be interesting. And that's about all I did. So, sorry guys, once I get more details and put it in a TBR, I will let you know. Next up is a book that I have already read, and that is Flipped by Wendelin Van Drennen. There's also a movie to this, but I really enjoyed the read. It's a cute little middle grade novel, and I just needed to pick a copy up from my shelf, so that's what this is. These next 4 books all go together. So, they are part of the Mother-Daughter Book Club series. I read one of these years ago and ended up taking it off my shelves for some reason. I think it was when I moved after my divorce. I just couldn't handle having sappy, happy love stories. And so I ended up unhauling it at that time. But I've since repurchased because I did really enjoy it. And then I purchased 3 more in the series. So let's just go through these real quick, shall we? So the first one I've got here is Much Ado About Anne, Dear Pen Pal, Pies and Prejudice, which is the one that I've read, and the last one being Wish You Were Air. All of these are by Heather Vogel Fredrickson, and they're just fun little contemporary books that I am just excited to read when I need a nice little fluffy read. Next up, a lot of you are going to be surprised I haven't read this series yet, but here we go. So it's Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have not read a Leigh Bardugo book yet. Gasp. So over the next 3 months for the Shaegeeksout Book Club Book of the Month, we are actually doing the Six of Crows series. So I've decided I need to at least get some perspective on the world before I dig into those. So I wanted to at least read Shadow and Bone before I dug into Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. As long as I like the series, I will continue on with the Grisha trilogy. Otherwise, I will probably just read this one, and if I don't like it, then I'll end up unhauling it, donating it to the library, putting it in the book swap box. I'm not 100% sure yet. Oh, I left one book downstairs. I'm sorry. So, the first book that got left downstairs was The Dark Lord of Dirkholm by Diana Wynne Jones. The cover was stunning. I found it for cheap, and it had to become mine because I need to give my friend her copy back. I also got its sequel, The Year of the Griffin, again by Diana Wynne Jones. These covers, seriously, they're so pretty. And the other Diana Wynne Jones book that I got was The Islands of Chaldea, or Chaldea, however you want to say it. This one was completed by Ursula Jones because Diana Wynne Jones passed away before she could finish. So I do plan on reading all of these sometime. Not 100% sure when. So, something I've learned this year is that I love Gail Carriger, so I ended up picking up Etiquette and Espionage by her. This is the first book in the Finishing School series, and I am excited. Gail Carriger's writing is so witty. I love her world that she builds, and I've been loving the Parasol Protectorate series, and so I am really excited to see what happens in the Finishing School series. these next two books go together, and that is Trial by Fire and Fire Walker, both by Josephine Angelini. And I am excited to give these a read. These are I believe they're a fantasy novel, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this was a fantasy novel. I found this in the fantasy section on Book Outlet. You guys know I love fantasy, so I plan on reading these soon. And maybe I'll do a giveaway because I accidentally ordered a second copy of the first one. And my cat decided he wants to claim my Book Outlet box. Next up is the Book of Speculation by Erica Swiler. Swiler? Anyways, this is about a young librarian who ends up at this book auction and stuff goes down. And again, it's books about books. You guys know I'm kind of obsessed with those lately, so I'm hoping to read this one soon. Alright, this last one might surprise some of you, but my husband and I have been talking, and he thinks I will enjoy the Warcraft game that we've been playing more if I understand the lore better. And so slowly we've been picking up all the books, and our most recent pickup was Illidan by William King. This kind of tells this character's story, and there's some other books I'm going to read first, but this is one that I'll be picking up relatively soon. They had it on Book Outlet pretty inexpensively in a hardback. I know this one's not super old, so I was really surprised, and I thought my husband would enjoy it, and I'll get to it eventually, so. Okay guys, that's it. Hi guys, I forgot books! I'm back! I forgot I have this little bag from Barnes & Noble that I haven't shown you yet, so we're gonna do it right now. So the first book is Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. You guys know I love fairy tale retellings. This is the most recent pickup that I have, and I've heard good things, so I'm excited. Next up, I will be continuing on with a manga. This is the only manga in the whole haul. Go me! And that will be Fruits Baskets, the Collector's Edition, Volume 5. I am really excited to continue to see where the story goes. I'm kind of catching up in the anime with where I'm at in the manga, and so I need to, like, get a read in so that we can keep watching them, because my husband's watching them with me and really enjoying it. Another book is a book that I've already read this year, and that is Spinning Starlight by R.C. Lewis. They finally had it come out in a paperback form so that I can put it with Stealing Snow, which is also in a paperback. And last but not least, I read Not a Drop to Drink by Minnie McGinnis recently, and so I decided to pick up another one of her books, and that is A Madness So Discreet. One, this cover is absolutely beautiful, and two, I really enjoyed Minnie McGinnis's writing, so I wanted to explore another story that she told, so I'm excited to get to this one too. I'm excited to get to all the books that I still have to read, guys. I have problems. I know that's a ton. My camera is telling me we're at 14 minutes. I know there will be some time cut out of that just for pickup and all that kind of stuff, and cutting out some of my rambling, because that's what I do when I'm tired. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books or would like to buddy read any of these books with me. April, Sarah, and I regularly buddy read at least one book a month, but I would love to continue to do buddy reads to help keep me reading, because when you're busy and working, I'm learning, when you're working full-time instead of part-time, my time for reading is much different now, so I'd love to stay motivated and continue to read. So again, let me know in the comments down below if you want to buddy read anything or if you've read them, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!